Hello, Namaste, welcome to my channel. Today I will be explaining Yajurveda Chapter 40, verse number 9. I have been often asked by people, why do Hindus worship the nature created things? Because according to the Vedas, if we worship these things, we will directly go into the pit of darkness. I was really surprised and sad to see that people had so limited understanding about these Vedic verses. This actually happens because of limited exposure to true knowledge and understanding. So here I am today to explain you the true knowledge of this Vedic verse. So we will directly scroll down to the contents of this Yajurveda, and this is the chapter number 40, page 1051. So I will directly scroll down without wasting any time. So here we are at chapter number 40, Yajurveda. So we'll go to chapter number 40, verse number 9. So let's go to there. Now here we are at verse number 9. Before explaining this verse, I would ask you to stay tuned till the end of the video because I'll be sharing a very concrete and meaningful way of looking into these verses. So also we will analyze whether this verse is alone enough to signify and justify that idol worship or nature created things worship is really a sin in Hinduism or not. So let's begin. Now, when we go through this verse number 9, it directly states, down into the darkest dark do they fall who worship only the primordial Prakriti. Primordial Prakriti means the immortal nature created things like fire, water, land, earth, which are immortal. These are primordial environmental things. The next line states, still deeper and darker do they fall who worship only the existential forms and are lost therein. The second thing is the existential forms. What does existential form means? Existential forms means the mortal existential things that are bound to perish or die at some point of time. So in the verse number 9 we see two things. One is the immortal environmental prakriti, and second is the existential mortal forms. If you are worshipping only one of them, then you are bound to fall into the pit of darkness, or you may fall even deeper into the pit of darkness. Do remember that you have to concentrate on the word only, because that changes the meaning of this verse. Now let's analyze this verse with the verse number 10, with the next verse which we read here. Verse number 10 states that different is the result, they say, from the primordial Prakriti, and different is the result, they say, from the existential forms. This we have heard from the wise who revealed it to us. Here, the wise means the Vedic saints and the gods who revealed the Vedas to the humanity. So, what does this verse number 10 signify? It directly says that whenever one worships only the primordial immortal environment, then the result achieved is a different result. Whereas, if someone worships only the existential mortal form, then the following result will be completely different than the before one. This simply means that if you worship these two things differently, then you are bound to get separate results for both of them. So we get the verse number 10. It directly states that you will get different results for each of these both ways. Now let's go to the next verse number 11. This verse number 11 will be the most important verse because it is the verse which will conclude the verse number 9 and 10 all together and change the entire meaning of the verse number 9. So let's read the verse number 11. Verse number 11 here states that one who knows the immortal, constant, primordial, and the mortal, mutable, existential, and knows that supreme spirit along with both masters the fact of death by mortal and realizes the immortal by the primordial. So, what is this verse actually trying to tell us? This verse is clearly telling that one who has understood both of the ways mentioned in the verse number 9, one who has understood and clearly got the meaning of both the ways mentioned in verse number 9 and 10, they are about to become the master of all the facts of death by the mortal and realize the immortal by the primordial. So, this means if you are all together experiencing and realizing both the immortal, primordial, environmental things, and along with that, also the mortal existential forms, and associate it with the supreme spirit, associate both of these things with the supreme spirit of this cosmos, then you are about to become the master of all the facts of death by the mortal and realize the immortal by the primordial. So, see, when we took the meaning of all these three verses all together, how the meaning of the verses changed altogether. So, here I would like to conclude that whenever you present the verse number 9, you also present the verse number 10 and verse number 11 along with it, because verse number 11 is the one which concludes the verse number 9, because without the verse number 11 the verse number 9 is partial. So whenever you present them, this verse number 9, verse number 10, and verse number 10 together forms a group and cluster, and it defines a fact. So I hope you have understood the meaning. And also I would like to conclude all three verses with a simple line that at finally we understand that none of these verses opposes the idea of idol worship, nor does it says that you will fall into the pit of darkness if you worship the natural things. Just what is it saying? It is saying that if you are only concentrated on only one of them, only then you will enter into the pit of darkness and you will be lost therein. But if you are experiencing and realizing both of these two things, one is the primordial immortal environmental things like fire, water, and second is the mortal existential forms that will be perished and die one time. If you realize and experience both of these things together, then you will become a master of the facts, and you will be experiencing both of the things, and you will be able to associate both of these facts with the supreme spirit, and you become a master yourself in the path of devotion. So I hope you have understood, and I have helped you to clear your misconceptions or any doubts regarding this. I hope whoever is watching this video, please share your doubts if you have any in the comment section. I would gladly like to clear those doubts. And these are clearly stating the complete meaning. So I hope I have completely delivered the true meaning of these verses of Yajurveda. So thank you for watching this video. Kindly like the video and subscribe to my channel. Namaste. Thank you.